Open the preseason versus the Ravens.
Back in the throw on play action is Anthony Richardson. He fires to his left, and that's a comeback pattern and a catch by Adonai Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell with a reception for the Colts.
The Bengals starters hit the field for their first taste of preseason action against the Eagles.
Burrow under center for the first time tonight. Play action fake, deep drop. Floats it down the sideline. Chase makes the catch, and he got his feet down inbounds for a first down in the red zone at the Eagles' 17-yard line.
Paul Skeens takes to mound for the Pirates as they clash with the Reds.
Another 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. 6 strikeouts for Skeens.
Plus, WNBA action.
The push, Gray, the try, the penetrate. Blocking foul. Got it and one for the Dream.
Coach, this your phone? No? Oh, it's recording. Oh, my bad.
From the worldwide headquarters of ESPN, this is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Jim Basquill.
50 states in 50 days reaches the Big Easy, and the PGA playoffs are underway. Welcome to SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Plenty ahead in the show, which includes preseason football in full swing, while the WNBA has a trade of former top 6 picks. But it's Pigskin that kicks us off. The preseason games, yes, are underway. Camps in full swing, and the regular season is on the horizon. Injury news this time of year is never good in the NFL. Chargers tackle Rashawn Slater suffering a torn patellar tendon in practice Thursday and will miss the coming season. The team says he'll undergo surgery and will be placed on injured reserve. He got hurt less than 2 weeks after signing a 4-year, $113 million extension last month. He started all 52 games at left tackle since being drafted 13th overall by the Chargers in 2021. ESPN Chargers reporter Chris Rim on SportsCenter.
It's impossible to overstate the negative impact that losing Rashawn Slater for the 2025 season could have on these Chargers. All energy vanished from Chargers practice Thursday as Slater left on a medical cart. The positive sign for the Chargers is that last year's 5th overall pick, Joe Alt, has experience playing left tackle where he played in college and started a game last season while Slater was out with injury. The Chargers believe Alt has all-pro potential at either side and will likely move him to the left tackle spot to protect quarterback Justin Herbert's blind side. As for the right side, this will likely bump up right tackle Trey Pipkins, who has 2 seasons of starting experience there in 2022 and 2023 with the Bolts. Still, without Slater and Alt on this offensive line, that significantly changes the ceiling for this Chargers team in 2025.
And no doubt have a huge impact as well on Justin Herbert. Harry Douglas, Tim Hasselback opine.
It is a huge deal. Plain and simple, it's a huge deal because while, they have immediate answers on the roster, moving Alt to left tackle, the problem ends up being is your depth starts to get compromised and the season's long and they've got big time aspirations. So, from that perspective, it's a massive downgrade. They have one of the best left tackles, in the game, and now all of a sudden they don't have him. They want to run the football. Yes, what it does for the passing game as well. The only silver lining in it is of when it happens. It's going to be a bunch of roster cut downs. There'll be guys on the street that can play, maybe even veteran players. And so with that, there's time to add depth to that offensive line group.
Jim Harbaugh is the head coach. He wants to own the line of scrimmage. He wants those big guys up front to maul people, move them from point A to point B against their will, dominate up front. They also want to run the football. There's a reason why they went and signed Najee Harris in the offseason and drafted Amarion Hampton. They want to win the line of scrimmage. But also, when you look at Rashawn Slater, he protects the blind side of Justin Herbert. Because now, every time Justin Herbert drops back, he has to have that trust in the backup that he's not going to get hurt from being blindsided from a sack that he didn't even see coming.
Meantime, Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons not on the practice field on Thursday, dealing with back tightness, which he received treatment for. Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones has said the back issue is as much a part of the negotiation process as Parsons' trade requests. He said he will not trade Parsons, who is under the 5th-year option of his rookie contract, set to make a shade over $21 million this coming season. On Tuesday, Jones said he was not confident Parsons would be available for the September 4th season opener against the Eagles. Jones has continued to say that he and Parsons reached an agreement on an extension in March on length, guaranteed money, and total money. Mina Kimes on the situation in Dallas.
I think what's so frustrating about the story is we all know how it's going to end. Micah Parsons isn't getting traded. If he is, I will come back on this show and eat my words, but I do not believe there is a chance in hell he is traded. He's going to get paid. When he gets paid, I don't know. Maybe he actually does skip a game. But we know he's going to get paid, and we know he's going to get paid a premium because of Jerry Jones's tactics, procrastination, because we've seen this with Jerry Jones now for several years with his star players. And I think for Cowboys fans, paying him maybe $5, $10, $1 million a year more than you would if they had gotten the deal done early, it's not the worst thing in the world. But all of these little premiums add up with all of these star players. And when you're trying to compete with the likes of the Eagles, who are the best run franchise in the National Football League, a team that gets their deals done early, it puts you at a competitive disadvantage. Jerry Jones is a competitive disadvantage for the Dallas Cowboys.
Meantime, having dealt with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones in multiple rounds of contract negotiations, quarterback Dak Prescott remains confident Parsons will be a Cowboy for this season and beyond, despite his public trade requests.
I think if I wouldn't have been in his shoes and have watched other guys be in his shoes and get rewarded, maybe. But I feel like it was last year. I've got faith in the Jones and the team as I do in Mike and his team. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm going to continue to believe and be optimistic, and 11's a Cowboy.
Another edge, Rams edge, Jared Verse had to be helped off the field during practice after bumping knees with a teammate. He isn't the first name that comes to mind regarding injuries at Rams camp, though. Coach Sean McVay telling reporters after practice on Thursday that quarterback Matthew Stafford will go through a workout today before the Rams preseason opener. And if that goes well, he'll return to the practice field on Monday. Stafford dealing with an aggravated disc in his back, which he received an epidural for, but is said to be making good progress in his recovery. Here's McVay.
I'm sure you guys have questions. That's nothing new in terms of what's been reported on Matthew. The aggravated disc is what led to the sore back. So all those things are true. And part of getting the epidural was part of the plans dealing with Dr. Watkins in terms of what we felt like was the best case and best scenario to be able to allow him to be as healthy as possible. He's due to get a good workout in on the day of our preseason game where he's going to throw. And that was on par with the schedule that we always had. You'll see him in practice next week. He won't participate in the Chargers practice just because of we're looking at it like he's got an acclimation period that'll really start on Saturday once we play the Cowboys.
It certainly sounds concerning. Clinton Yates, Damian Woody.
This is the story to me, in my opinion, of the preseason. This man has not taken one snap in practice. It'd be one thing if the organization is managing him and he's still practicing. It wouldn't alarm me. You haven't taken a snap in practice? I'm not buying into the Rams propaganda that, it's no big deal. He's 37, all of this. Yeah. No snaps in practice is a big deal right now. And so for me, when I look at the NFC landscape, it's Philly, and for me, Rams are right there. We saw what the Rams were able to do. Rams could have won that game in Philadelphia last year. Mm-hmm. And now you're sitting here and telling me Matthew Stafford, 37 years old, off injured, not practicing at all. Right now, that is a huge freaking deal to me.
Stafford getting epidurals? That's about as big as a red flag as possible for somebody who's trying to be upright, move around, and deliver the football. That is a terrible sign. And I don't necessarily know that it makes the Rams suddenly out of contention of anything, because I think Garoppolo's got a pretty good grasp of things from what I've seen. But, man, I just don't know how you manage this. Are we realistically saying he's going to start week 1 when he's got such a procedure this close to the season? I don't know that makes sense. And I also don't know that you're going to be able to depend on him throughout the season if these kinds of what we used to call bumps, bites, and bruises are popping up all over the place.
How about we hit the field? The Bengals starters in play.
3 receivers left, 1 out to the right. The receiver to the right is Chase. Here's a short pass caught by Tanner Hudson. Nice. Lunging toward the goal line. Yeah. Touchdown! Nice. Bengals! Tanner Hudson caught it at the 3, lowered his shoulder pads, and got the football over the goal line. Burrow waiting for the shotgun snap. 2-by-2 formation. Looks left, throws left, caught by Chase, escapes a tackle, racing down the sideline. Touchdown! Nice. Bengals! Jamar Chase picked picking up where he left off last year when he led the NFL with 17 touchdowns.
And music to the ears of Bengals fans. ESPN 1530. Burrow leads a pair of scoring drives in that opening quarter for Cincinnati. They hit the bench. The Eagles backups get it done thereafter.
McKee lines them up again. Dillon to his right. Slot to the far side. Back goes McKee. He's going for the end zone. Cooper, touchdown.
He's got skills. Let me tell you this. Cooper has skills. Darius Cooper, remember that name.
As Sports Radio 94 WIP, and no Jalen Hurts, no Saquon Barkley. Those starters took the night off, but they did have Tanner McKee. He scored on a tush-push touchdown. He also threw for 252, 20 of 25 with a pair of scoring strikes. You just heard one of them right there as the Eagles get a 34-27 win over the Bengals. But Burrow and his coach, Zach Taylor, on getting on the field early and getting that rhythm.
I think, first of all, just the threat of being hit is a big reason why we want those guys out there, want Joe out there, because he knows he's not going to get hit in practice. So I think just for it to feel real in a game, whether he's getting hit or not, I think just him having the knowledge that it's possible. You know, someone can lose a one-on-one. Now you hit on the backside, a free runner can come in. That's a whole different, you can't simulate that rep in practice.
It's just good to play football again. You know, the more reps you get at it, the better you're going to be at it. So I think Hobbs said we got 15 reps tonight, so we're 15 reps better.
Hey, let's face it, the Bengals' slow starts in recent seasons have derailed their campaigns. A good reason why. They were on the field on this night in preseason kickoff number 1. Tim Hasselback on what he saw.
I just think that how comfortable they looked. You know, Cincinnati's offense looked good a year ago. They look good again to start in the preseason. I think just the willingness to compete in a preseason game by star players that are making a lot of money. It's not typical. I think in some ways it's maybe just a message with how things have gone in Cincinnati in terms of slow starts in past years, and then also with, you know, the current contract situation with, you know, probably their best defensive player. So I think part of it is kind of setting a tone of expectation for the team, and I think the offense came out and did a really good job.
Anthony Richardson goes out of the gun, ball in the near hash, backs to throw, and he is decked from the left, and he is sacked and buried. He took a big-time hit, but more importantly, hangs on to the football, and the Ravens with a sack off the left edge.
And he's going off the field, Matt. He got hit unabated. There was no one blocking. The protection was totally not there. You had a back releasing in the backfield, and they were going one way, and you can't have your quarterback take that shot.
That's David Ajabo.
Yeah, it's 107.5. The Fan. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson suffered a dislocation of his pinky of his right throwing hand in the opening quarter of Thursday's preseason opening loss, 24-16 to the Ravens. He did not return. Coach Shane Steichen said after the game Richardson is day-to-day. Back on the field, and a rookie getting it done special teams-wise.
Lester had a 17-yard return on his first try. Fields this one cleanly. And again, he's got an alley. Wester at the 30. 2 men to beat. Wester could be going. He's gone. Midfield and rolling. And the rookie 6th-round draft pick will take it to the house. LaJohntay Wester, 87 yards. And he delights this Ravens crowd in the preseason opener.
And the former Colorado Buffalo LaJohntay Wester, who, by the way, called it. He said he was going to return a punt for a score. WBAL AM 1090. 87 yards for that score. Richardson competing with Daniel Jones, who was 10 of 21, 144 yards. He was sacked for that starting quarterback position. Ravens get the win. John Harbaugh says they got work to do.
Good night, fun night. Seeing the guys compete, seeing the guys fight, make some plays. A lot of young guys played well. We can talk about all those guys. 4th down stop at the end. That was awesome and fun to watch, and really proud of the guys. We had big kick returns, and we had our defensive ends coming off the edge. We got some sacks and got some TFLs. So a lot of good things to look at and a lot of things to work on.
In the meantime, Texan safety Jimmy Ward arrested Thursday for a second time in 2 months, according to Montgomery County, Texas jail website. He was arrested on a warrant for a felony offense. Bail has not been set. Ward's first arrest came June 12th at his home in Texas after a woman said she was assaulted, strangled, and threatened. An emergency protective order was filed at the woman's request. You're listening including the SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. PGA's playoffs are underway.
Bhatia for a 62 one-off-the-course record. That record would have fallen if he had more holes to play, because he is feeling it right now. He really is. Great playing. Absolutely. And so 8 under for Bhatia.
Akshay Bhatia closed eagle, birdie, birdie for a 62 in the FedEx St. Jude Championship. That's the low round of his PGA Tour career. Gives him a one-shot lead over Tommy Fleetwood.
I mean, I just feel like calm. Essentially, like today, I felt pretty relaxed, you know, and I'm not trying to, I'm just not trying to force anything. I'm not trying to, and it's okay to get mad at golf shots, but not at yourself, not self-deprecate yourself, which I tend to do.
Has 4 feet for par and 66.
You know, Justin, if he misses this, you got to give out your email for jinxing it.
So the email is michael.collins at
justin.announcerjinx.com.
So Scotty gives one back here at the last.
Yeah, on ESPN Plus, the call. Scotty Scheffler, a bogey on that last hole, shot a 67. First tournament since winning the British Open. It was his 10th consecutive round, though, in the 60s. Coming up, the day on the diamond includes Paul Skeens, again stellar, and the WNBA has clarity on a recent controversy as well as a deal, which includes a pair of recent top 10 picks. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
The traditions, the rivalries, the drama.
Every week there was something magical.
This is the most wide-open college football season we've had ever.
15 days until week 1 kicks off. College football lives here. ESPN Radio. More SportsCenter All Night coming up next.
Carmen and Yurko.
Yurko's like the only guy who somehow is not putting money in Jeff Bezos'
I've never flown in his flying penises that he had. They're odd-shaped.
Yeah, they are.
Phallic-like symbols.
It's like something out of Austin Powers.
I have no want to go out of the atmosphere.
Really? To say you went
Even
to
if it was
space?
free. I don't want to go there. I'm happy on Earth.
Get Carmen and Yurko podcasts at your favorite pod place or on the ESPN Chicago app. Carmen and Yurko, weekdays noon to 3, ESPN Chicago.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Why would we trade our best player?
Well, at least you got to watch him in person when he was here.
I named my only son after him.
So you'll always remember his name.
Yeah, but what do I do with this jersey?
Luckily, the company has a great return policy.
I wore it for 6 seasons.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Take it from me, when you want the job done right, you call the pros. And that's why Chicago trusts WindowWorks. For over 30 years, they've delivered custom windows and doors that fit your home, your style, and your budget. No cookie cutter stuff, just certified pros who get it done. And it's not just about beauty. These windows can help cut down your energy bills, too. Right now, buy one window, get one free. Dial pound 250 on your phone and say Waddle to book your free consultation today.
From Professor Carmen DeFalco.
Not too many people that can have sports knowledge and also whiskey bourbon knowledge.
Carmen's amazing. I do like whiskeys and bourbons. Still kind of a novice, and he helps me understand a little bit better what I should be looking for.
I'm a hardcore bourbon guy, and I listen to Carmen Yurko every day. He can pull out the very essentials that I can't even taste.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of SCU, an ESPN Chicago production.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Roskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
There's an app for that. Download, listen live, podcasts on demand. The ESPN Chicago app.
You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Jim Basquill.
Yeah, we're back on Sports Center all night with a night in the W.
The Atlanta Dream have won 3 straight, about 3.5 minutes from making that 4 straight. And the start of a road trip. Here's Gray penetrating, taking it all the way in. Make it 25 for Allisha Gray.
As heard on Amazon Prime, Allisha Gray scored 25 for the night. The Dream, best the Sky, 86-65. 4 straight win for them. They were down 6 at the half, turned this game around in that second half, scoring their first 10 points and rolling from there. Angel Reese did not play 7th time in 9 games. She was out with that back issue. Meantime, a self-described crypto enthusiast told ESPN he is part of a group that orchestrated recent sex toy stunts that have been disrupting at least 3 WNBA games over the past 10 days. The man who spoke on condition of anonymity, I should say, on Wednesday said the stunts were meant to market a crypto coin that his online community created. The WNBA and all its controversy, he says, made the league a logical target. Hard to connect the dots there.
Is going bonkers.
Yeah, hard to argue that, by the way. Alyssa Thomas' feed to DeWanna Bonner seals her 19th career triple-double. She had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists to become the first WNBA player with 3 straight triple-doubles. Mercury beat the Fever 95-60. That's their 3rd straight win. She has 41 points, 33 rebounds, 32 assists in the last 3 games. Bonner, by the way, finished with a season-high 23.
Plum puts her head down. Plum off balance, whips it over her head as she hits the deck. 15 now in the quarter for Kelsey Plum. Timeout, Connecticut.
As Spectrum Sportsnet, Kelsey Plum, 18. One of 6 sparks in double figures as LA best Connecticut, 102-81. The Sun are 5-24, 1-13 on the road. To that end, the Mystics have traded forward Aaliyah Edwards to the Sun for guard J.C. Sheldon. The move includes an option for Washington to swap 2026 first-round picks. Sheldon and Edwards were the 5th and 6th picks of the 2024 WNBA draft. Edwards will become the 19th former UConn player to put on a Connecticut Sun uniform. And Anscape's Ari Chambers on how the deal can ignite Edwards.
All eyes have been on Aaliyah Edwards coming off of injury. She hasn't been able to find her footing coming back off that back injury, but she will now be able to show off that two-way versatility that she has and the high motor that she has to match. She's able to defend multiple positions, a reliable rebounder, and just able to help Tina Charles in that paint area that she exerts so much effort. And so help the super vet out a little bit with those young legs.
You're listening to SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Jim Basquill from the Bigs. Last licks for the Mariners.
Here's the stretch and the next offer on the way. Swinging a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Here comes Suarez running third. The throw to the plate by Taylor. The slide, the tag, safe at home. Suarez, a walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone. The Mariners win it 4-3. A walk-off single for Canzone. He's being mobbed out there at first base. for the Mariners, their second walk-off win on this homestand.
That's Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. Dominic Canzone singles home the winning run in the 11th. The M's finish off a 3-game sweep with the White Sox 4-3. Move within a game and a half of first place Houston in the West. Canzone post-game on Root Sports.
It is the first walk-off hit in Dom Canzone's career. Does that hit feel different than any others that you've had?
Yeah, that's the best one so far, no doubt. Even if it's just a little rollover, it all plays the same.
Umpire, and Jim Wolf is the first base umpire, and a 3-0 pitch is driven to left pretty deep. Hayes back track, clear the deck and anchor down. Cannonball coming to left. Oppo for B-Ray, his 11th, and it's 1-0 Pirates in the first inning.
Yeah, that Brian Reynolds first inning home run is heard on 93.7 The Fan. All the offense the Pirates would need because they have this guy. 9th pitch of this at-bat coming up from Skeens. At the belt, another 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. 6 strikeouts for Skeens, 4 scoreless. Man, he struck out 8 in 6 shutout frames. Pirates 7-0 over the Reds. He allowed 7 hits, highest mark of his career, and remained undefeated against Cincinnati in 4 career starts. The record streak of allowing 6 or fewer hits to open in a Major League Baseball career ended at 46 straight games. But Skeens extended his scoreless streak to 27 2/3. Has not allowed a run since June 8th against Philadelphia. His ERA, Major League best, 1.94.
Runners take off. Pitch on the way. Chopper slowly hit out to short. Charging Lopez. Scoops and fires low. And it gets by Wagaman. That's going to give the Braves a lead. It's in the camera well. Put the pressure on Lopez, and he fired low to first base, and it gets by Wagaman, and the Braves are on top 7-6 in the 7th.
That was your game winner, 680 The Fan. Drake Baldwin homered twice, drove in 5 runs as the Braves rallied past the Marlins 8-6. Jacob Lopez struck out a career-high 10 over 7 2/3. A's blanked the Nationals. That final was 6-0. They've won 9 of their last 13. Coming up, more football. Will Travis Hunter play 2 ways in the pros, and what impact will Bill Belichick have at UNC? We explore. That's next. This is Sports Center All Night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Thursday, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, who separated themselves from the pack in the Colts quarterback race. Plus, we'll look ahead to Shedeur Sanders' first start for the Browns. That's Thursday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The Waddle and Sylvie audio experience.
Everything is blue sky and sunshine. Everything is soft serve ice cream and wine. It's all delicious.
Did you say soft serve ice cream and wine?
Yeah.
Is that a combination?
Ice cream, chillin', ice cream.
Waddle's a bad dessert guy. There's not many things that Waddle's bad at. That's his kryptonite.
Get Waddle and Sylvie podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 2:30 to 6:30. ESPN Chicago.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I. And then we.
brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Courtney Cronin, the latest from Hallis Hall, and wherever Bears roam in Chicago. Be an informed fan with ESPN Chicago, brought to you by Costa Ivoni.
Listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Jim Basquill.
And ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. They offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance. Visit progressive.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center all night.
Again, our top stories: the Chargers lose left tackle Rashawn Slater for the season. Micah Parsons amid a contract stalemate with the Cowboys, sidelined with a back issue. Speaking of Los Angeles hopeful Matthew Stafford will be back soon from his bad back. FedEx Cup playoffs underway at the St. Jude. Scotty Scheffler 67-5 off the lead. And WNBA trade includes the 5th and 6th picks of the 2024 draft.
Empty backfield, 4-man rush, throw, ball is caught, spinning out of the tackle, touchdown, Seahawks! Torrey Horton from 10 yards out, and this rookie, somebody said a rookie needs to make a good play every day in practice, so he's seen by the coaches. That's all Horton has done, is make big plays.
Toria Horton from Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. The other end of that Drew Lock pass. Drew Lock back in a Seattle uniform. Seahawks Raiders tie at 23. Pete Carroll played a new role as he, in his first preseason games as Raiders coach, against his former team, the Seahawks. Vegas starting quarterback Geno Smith also made his return to Seattle. He played one series in this game. Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter will make his professional debut playing both sides of the ball. Hunter plans on doing that in the pros, something Davante Adams is skeptical of. He had this on the Pivot podcast.
I don't even think it's possible to do for real, not at a high level, and then go in there. It's hard enough to go cover a punt and then be on, one side, and I haven't done it. I'm not acting like I'm on kickoff or a punt, but I can see the dudes, and I know, you got your guys, and you see the yardage of my yardage over the game versus somebody that starts on offense and then plays special teams as well. Like, that's just a lot of mileage, man. And I don't know how long. I'm not even concerned so much if he can do it over the course of a game or a season. It's more like, how long is his career going to be if he's playing that many snaps? Because all you're doing is doubling your risk for injury, one. Right. And I don't wish any of that on him. I hope that he can play an injury-free season and go ball out. But, I mean, it's just the reality. The more you're on the field, it's already 100% injury guarantee. Yeah. Once you get out there playing both sides, and now you got to tackle. Yep. You got to tackle Derrick Henry.
And no doubt about it. The physicality of the NFL is a different game. Damian Woody on playing both ways.
I think he can handle the mental aspects of it. There's no question about it. But again, it's the wear and tear. Think about this. At Colorado, Travis Hunter didn't even practice because Deion saved him so much for the amount of snaps he would have in the game. In the pros, you can't do that. You have to practice, get better at your craft, make sure you're prepared for your opponent week in and week out. And so I want to see it because it's such a fascinating story, but realistically, he's going to have to concentrate more on one side of the ball and then give a lot lesser snaps on the other side. And my inkling is he's going to play a lot more on the offensive side of the ball because they have to get Trevor Lawrence going.
And speaking of, Trevor Lawrence hasn't taken a snap in a live ball situation since sustaining a concussion. Certainly wants Hunter on offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's we're getting there. We're getting there. Obviously, he's playing a little bit of both ways, and he's so talented, man. It's hard to keep him off the field. Selfishly, yeah, I definitely want him on offense more. It's almost like, do you want to come catch touchdowns, or you want to maybe break up a pass or two a game? Like, that's the decision you got to make. So now he'll make plays no matter where he's at, honestly. And of course, as a quarterback, I hope he plays more offense. But wherever he needs to play to make our team better, because he will make us better, is what's going to happen. So all for whatever that is.
That's a way of selling the offensive end of the game. Their coach, Liam Cohen, says that most of the team's starters will play in their preseason opener against the Steelers later on tonight. Caleb Williams ready to turn the page on year one, which wasn't a half-bad rookie season, with fellow sophomore Rome Odunze telling Jeremy Fowler his signal caller is second to none.
Rome Odunze told me Caleb Williams can literally be the best quarterback in the NFL. He's far away from that right now. You mentioned deconstruction. That's exactly right. Ben Johnson has been relentless on him with the details.
I hear you, Rome. Trying to get some extra passes, baby. I hear you, Rome.
He's trying to get the ball. They're just trying to get him to do the basics right now, and then they'll work on the off-scripted plays, the mobility, all his strengths. That will come. Now, Chicago Bears, elite quarterback plays an oxymoron. Yeah. It's always been that way. But as far as the ability, they see it. Like, the players recognize it. They just got to get it out of them.
Do you feel like it's almost like an unwiring of everything he learned last year, and then we have to build?
Absolutely. Yeah, Ben Johnson is like just how to take a three-step drop, all the basics. Like, they are treating him like a rookie right now.
Yeah, he took a lot of sacks. There were a lot of sacks, and you can attribute that either to the offensive line or the fact that maybe he held on to the ball a little too long, but he didn't throw a lot of interceptions, not those type of miscues, Stephen A. Smith.
I'm of the mindset that I think that he's gotten a bad rap. I think this kid got tremendous potential. The dude got slaughtered last year. He sacked 68 times. He was getting destroyed out there. And so for me, Ben Johnson being there as a new coach right now, seeing how innovative he is as a play caller or whatever, I'm of the mindset that his second year, Caleb Williams, I expect him to remind us as to why he was the #1 overall pick. I expect him to be a dude that's right there that we'll be talking about in the same way that we talk about Jaden Daniels. But that's going to take the efforts of others to show up and produce as well. I'm of the mindset it can't be him. He can't be the reason we look at Chicago and say they're not what they need to be.
20-6, his touchdown to interception ratio. Like I said, no interceptions out of him, really. Williams certainly wants to be where Patrick Mahomes is, the Chiefs quarterback, on wanting more from the KC offense this coming season.
We definitely want to push the ball down the field and push the ball into tighter windows this year. I mean, we got the guys that can make the contested catches. I think y'all seen that out here. And the guys we told them we're going to give them a chance, and they got to prove to us that they can make those plays, and they're proving that. And so Coach Reed has been adamant about pushing the ball, trying to make plays happen, and we've been having success with it. And the goal is to keep that going throughout the regular season.
Yeah, Mahomes has been a thorn in this guy's side. The reigning NFL MVP, Josh Allen, who won't be playing in the Bills' preseason opener against the New York Giants. As for James Cook's status, Coach Sean McDermott says the team has no choice but to move forward with or without the running back who skipped his 4th straight practice as part of a contract standoff that has no signs of a resolution. Allen, though, asked about the impact and need for that running back.
I mean, guys going out, it's no different than, Khalil being out with an ankle. Guys are stepping up, making plays, and, it was good for Ray to get some of these reps and getting on the same page with Ty again, who I think is our best third down back in the game, and just gives them a couple more opportunities. But James is who he is, and he's one of the best running backs in the league, and you'd be crazy not to say we don't want him out there. We desperately want him out there with us, and hopefully something can get done.
Sports Center, 50 states in 50 days.
We go coast to coast. We going coast to coast.
On ESPN Radio.
Yeah, 50 states in 50 days. The Sports Center road trip moves on to the state of Louisiana, a place I once called home, known for Mardi Gras, the Bayou, the French Quarter, and outstanding food, of course. The Saints and Bayou Bengals, a.k.a. LSU football. They eat, drink, and sleep football in that Big Easy. Former Saints wideout Lance Moore joining game night on the quarterback battle. Tyler Shuck closing the gap, he says.
He's been competing throughout the entirety of OTAs and minicamp and in the training camp. It started out a little bit slow for him, but I think he's starting to understand the game better. It's obviously faster than it would have been for him last year in college. But, that quarterback battle, while it started out, I think Spencer Rattler was way ahead. I think Tyler Shough is starting to close the gap a little bit. And that's what you want in the competition. You usually don't want one guy blowing the other guy out of the water. You want both guys competing at a high level because that usually means that, the better guy is going to win. But they're both getting better at the same time because the reality is if this team is to have these two guys as their number one and number two, based on what we see on the rest of that roster, both of those guys might end up playing at some point this season.
Yeah. It's a work in progress under center in New Orleans, right? Mike Triplett, New Orleans football, joining Amber and Ian on a team that he says looks good everywhere, except under center.
Outside of the quarterback position, this is not a team that's built to tank. I mean, Demario Davis is still here. Alvin Kamara is still here. Chris Olave is still here. Tyrann Mathieu did just retire. Cam Jordan is still here. Last two first-round picks were both their left tackle and their right tackle the last 2 years. Until Derek Carr retired, this is a team that wanted to contend for the NFC South title. So they're thin. It's tough to put them anywhere outside of the bottom 5 in your power rankings. But they're going to be sneaky competitive. They're going to be in 10 one-score games this year. If they have health, if they have luck, they could be way more competitive than most. You look at coach and quarterback usually, but this is not a barren roster.
Yeah. Well, when you think of Louisiana, you think of that Bayou, and you think of former LSU coach Ed Orgeron, who joined Amber and Ian.
He's simply known as Coach O. He's a national champion. Ed Orgeron returns here to ESPN. Coach O, how we been, partner?
Hey, como se llama, partner?
Hey, look, Cajun French, folks, right there to bring us in, man. In our native tongue, sum up what makes the great state of Louisiana great.
C'est le monde de projet. The manger est bon. The people have heart, they have courage, and the food is fantastic.
What is it about growing up in Louisiana that just separates the people? Because the people are what makes the state.
Yeah. It's crazy. When I grew up on the Bayou, winning was the only option. Being the best was the only option. Although we were a small town, we couldn't wait to get to the junior high. We couldn't wait to get to high school. We always watched LSU football. We always watched the Saints. Sports was our life. Having fun was our life. Working hard was our life. And very, very proud people.
What is it about that, Coach, where it's family, it's sports, it's a lot, man, and a lot of football, and the food? What is it about the camaraderie that just separates certain places from others?
It brings us together. My house was always full. My mom would cook a big pot of gumbo, a big pot of spaghetti. My friends would always be over. We'd always be hanging out. I tell my kids, we didn't have a cell phone. We had to make our own fun. We had to do things on ourselves. We always played football, basketball in the yard. We were always out there joking. So I think the way we grew up was very special.
I remember one day growing up on Tautog Farm in Folsom, Louisiana, which for people who don't know, I know you know, Coach, but because you recruited Covington High and Mandeville like crazy. But, one traffic light when I was growing up there, now we have two. We're a metropolis, right? But, we had these nutri-rats, right, that were eating into a dam that separated the weanling field from the far fields. My mom gives my 12-year-old older brother, I was 10, my younger brother was 8. She gives us a bunch of shotguns and says, go kill all the nutri-rats you can find. It was like Vietnam out there, man. You give 3 little kids shotguns and say, go kill a bunch of nutri-rats. That's fun, but that's not happening anywhere outside of Louisiana, Coach.
That's right, it is. Remember, we used to put the shotguns on the racket behind the truck and go to school.
Yes, right. I mean, that is a weapon that is pointed out of the truck, right? I mean, today you can't do that, but we were careful. We knew how to handle all that stuff. We were raised a different way, but sports was such a big part of it. You were always outside, and then it was football, man. You mentioned the Saints. You mentioned LSU, Tulane, La Tech, going down the list. What is it about the great game of football that just brings a community together?
I think it's the toughness. I mean, when you get a kid from Louisiana, whether I was at LSU or USC or Miami, the work ethic that he had and his discipline, I think that we'll just raise a different way.
There you have it. Ian says today you can't do that. Back then you couldn't do it either. Tomorrow brings the state of North Carolina as the next 50 and 50 stop for SportsCenter. Speaking of, Heather Dinich on what to expect from Bill Belichick and UNC.
North Carolina is the biggest mystery in college football. Even Bill Belichick doesn't know what he has. His players haven't really put on the pads yet, particularly on the offensive and defensive lines. These guys have to go against each other and hit each other. This is an unheralded roster full of transfers, unproven playmakers at different positions all over the field, and an entirely new defense. The biggest thing they have going for them is a manageable schedule. It's winnable. It's about 70th in the country in terms of difficulty. They don't leave the state more than 3 times.
Freddie Coleman has a guess on what he thinks that Tar Heels win total will be.
If they get to 7-8 wins, that's a victory for North Carolina. That's a victory. It completely is, but the playoffs? No. They're not even going to make the ACC championship game. No. They'll go to a nice bowl that won't placate Bill Belichick. It'll be a decent season, but it won't be the season I think Bill Belichick may be expecting because he knows football, but does he know college football in modern times?
Yeah, he'll reside in the ACC over in the SEC. David Hale joined game night on the question being which quarterback is best in conference.
Would it shock me if Arch Manning is the best quarterback in the SEC this year and ends up being a number 1 overall draft pick? Of course not. His last name is Manning. I understand how DNA works. I think he'll be really darn good. But you look up and down the league, and there's so many names that you can point to. Lenora Sellers coming off a great year last year, and you know what kind of damage he can do with both his arm and his legs. DJ Lagway, he hinted at how good he could be, but the talent is off the charts there.
The games are coming, the season around the corner. Coming up, we explore the benefits of playing in the preseason from a coach and a player, and the night's top plays are ready to be heard. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
We are on September 2nd moving to ESPN Radio, which is also my roots, I'm proud to say.
The return of Rich Eisen.
To be able to go back to where my career started was something that I never thought possible.
September 2nd, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. More SportsCenter All Night coming up next.
Carmen and Yurko.
Yurko's like the only guy who somehow is not putting money in Jeff Bezos'
I've never flown in his flying penises that he had. They're odd-shaped.
Yeah.
They are. Phallic-like symbols.
It's like something out of Austin Powers.
I have no want to go out of the atmosphere.
Really? To say you went
Even
to
if it was
space?
free. I don't want to go there. I'm happy on Earth.
Get Carmen and Yurko podcasts at your favorite pod place or on the ESPN Chicago app. Carmen and Yurko, weekdays noon to 3, ESPN Chicago.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Bears voted in favor of banning the tush push.
They know what the play was, or they're just going on the term tush push. That doesn't sound very Fox.
Is that a profane term? I don't want it.
It sounds uncomfortable. Go ahead.
That too.
Ow! Ouchie! I haven't done that. Ouchie!
Cap and J Hood presented by ESPN Bet. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide, but finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
Tune into I'm Over It on ESPN Chicago's Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings 5 to 7. Brought to you by Roofers Union Local 11.
Listening to SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Jim Basquill.
Yeah, we're back on SportsCenter all night with the night's top sounds, which include hoops, baseball, and football. Yes, it's that time of year. Nick DeLuca has the detail.
SportsCenter all night.
Oh, my goodness. Check it out on SportsCenter tonight.
Today's top sound.
How good is that? Are you ready to take?
Number 5.
All right, Jim, few games in baseball start in Atlanta. Braves and Marlins, Marcell Ozuna mashing early on 680 The Fan.
Here it comes, and there it goes. Deep left field. Stowers to the wall. Out of room. Out of the ballpark. Back-to-back homers, Baldwin and Ozuna. And more first-inning trouble against the Braves for Yuri Perez. Back-to-back bombs, and it's 2-0 Braves.
Number 4.
Preseason football, Colts and Ravens. LeJontay Wester taking a punt to the house on WBAL AM 1090.
Wester had a 17-yard return on his first try. Fields this one cleanly. And again, he's got an alley. Wester at the 30. 2 men to beat. Wester could be going. He's going. Midfield and rolling. And the rookie 6th-round draft pick will take it to the house. LeJontay Wester, 87 yards. And he delights this Ravens crowd in the preseason opener.
Number 3.
Bengals have gotten off to some slow starts last couple of years, getting the starters some work early in the preseason. Familiar formula. Burrow to Chase for 6 on ESPN 1530.
Burrow waiting for the shotgun snap, 2-by-2 formation. Looks left, throws left, caught by Chase, escapes a tackle, racing down the sideline, touchdown!
Nice.
Bengals, Jamar Chase, picking up where he left off last year when he led the NFL with 17 touchdowns.
Number 2.
Back to baseball, Mariners looking for a sweep against the White Sox. Took 11, but with runners on, Dominic Canzone came up clutch on Seattle Sports 710 AM.
Here's the stretch and the next offer on the way. Swinging a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Here comes Suarez running third. The throw to the plate by Taylor, the slide, the tag, safe at home. Suarez, a walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone. The Mariners win it 4-3. A walk-off single for Canzone. He's being mobbed out there at first base for the Mariners. Their second walk-off win on this homestand.
Number 1.
And Jim, our top sound of the night from the W. Mercury all over the Fever. Alyssa Thomas with another assist to cap another big night on Amazon Prime Video.
She does it all for them, no doubt about it. Meantime, Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love has a good chance of playing some of the Packers' preseason opener against the Jets. Coach Matt LaFleur says he will try to play all 4 of his quarterbacks in this game. He had this on the benefits of those reps in preseason.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of where you got to feel where your team is. And my experience, I would say that I think it's good for all of our guys to kind of go knock the rust off a little bit, and understanding that there's a little bit of a risk with that. Now, according to my sources, that there's a lot of injury data that supports playing guys in the preseason in regards to reducing the injury risk early into the season. That's real data from the NFL. Is like they'll tell you, according to our medical people and our sports performance people, that there's, if you get X amount of reps, you're how many ever times less likely to get injured within the first 4 to 5 weeks of the regular season.
There you have it. They should give that data out, by the way, to the NBA as well. And toss out load management, because that doesn't work either. Titans Bucks, that's tonight as well. Number 1 pick Cam Ward on playing in the preseason.
I'm listening to Coach Callahan. I'm ready to play the whole time if I need to. But this is also a big evaluation, not only for myself but for the whole team. I'm ready to make plays when my number's called.
How excited are you for that opportunity to get out there for the first time, like for real stuff?
I'm real excited to just be on the grass again. To just really put everything that I worked for out there, and just try to lead my teammates and try to get a win out there.
And look forward to seeing him play as well. Browns Panthers tonight. For some reason, there are people who feel the Browns are setting Shedeur Sanders up to fail by starting him in their first preseason game. An absurd notion that Dan Orlovsky debunks.
Will everybody stop with the Shedeur Sanders is being set up to fail narrative? Who do you want to start the game? It's preseason week 1. First option, Joe Flacco. He's played for like 20 years. He's not going to start preseason week 1. The next 2 options would be a Kenny Pickett or a Dylan Gabriel. Both are dealing with hamstring injuries. Neither has practiced a ton recently. If they've done anything, I believe it's been 7-on-7. Who do you want to start the game? The next 2 options are Shedeur and Snoop Huntley. Shedeur's been there. Snoop Huntley just got there. So while Shedeur may not have had reps with the ones, what else do you want them to do in Cleveland? It's an opportunity for him. It may not be the ideal opportunity. Very rarely is it for a 5th-round pick, but it's an opportunity for him to go out there and do in a game what many have reported he's done in practice. Stop with the setup to fail narrative.
Absolutely. That says it all right there, right? There is no team in the history of the NFL, either before or moving forward, that ever wants their players to fail. They always want their picks to succeed. So put that to bed. Thanks for staying up all night. For producer Jake Boson and technical director Justin Osterwick, I'm Jim Basquel. Plenty of NFL talk is ahead, with Unsportsmanlike up next.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, what are our boldest predictions heading into this college football season? Will Arch Manning live up to the hype? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Carmen and Yurko.
Building off that bourbon analogy, obviously when I put it in my barrel, it's not going to be ready in 6 months. Right. To Chris's point, you can go into the Rick House, take the bunghole out.
What?
That's what it's called.
What?
That's what it's called. You can taste the whiskey.
Oh, he's tasting it now.
Are there people that go right from the hole?
Yes.
Get Carmen and Yurko podcast at your favorite pod place or on the ESPN Chicago app. Carmen and Yurko, weekdays noon to 3, ESPN Chicago.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.